Once upon a time, there was a mountain so tall it touched the sky. It was the Great Mountain of Wonders. An old pilgrim who came from a land far away was on his way to the top of the mountain. He had already walked for days and nights when he reached a green, tranquil valley. The old pilgrim was tired, but strong. He easily overcame the obstacles that the mountain had put in front of him. He looked behind him, thinking about the long way he had traveled and the long path lying ahead. At times the road seemed familiar, carmine tinted, just like him. Suddenly, coming from the sky, a beam of light fell at the foot of the mountain. But the old pilgrim had lived for so long, he had lost his curiosity, so he kept going. A little star, fallen from above, woke up on the soil. Looking up, she thought to herself, that mountain is so great, it surely must touch the sky. I might get home if I reach the top. Delighted by this unknown world, she set out on her journey. As she walked, she noticed she brought down fragments of the azure in her descent. She came by a closed gate. On each side was a stone toad, overlooking a little stone pond. "Our ponds are dry," complained the toads. "Help us, and we will help you in return." The little star was young but clever. Satisfied, the toads opened the gate. As she entered a magnificent garden, she saw what could only be described as a bizarre creature. It was the old pilgrim. The little star noticed he had seen her too. They looked at each other, intrigued. Both of them kept going, now aware of each other's presence. With every step, the garden kept growing thicker and greener. Suddenly, they encountered two statues. "Our sister wants to dance," they said. "Help her, and we will help you in return." Grateful, the statues opened the way for them. In the heart of this fabulous orchard, they stumbled into each other. Their interests were piqued by the ethereal presence of one another. The little star was much more curious than the old pilgrim as she reached towards him. The old pilgrim paused briefly before returning to his path. The little star trailed after him, drawn by the promise of guidance he seemed to offer. As they went forward, they got a glimpse of the road they had travelled on so far. They entered a verdant maze, so thick it would be easy for them to lose track of each other if they parted. Along the way, they encountered more and more of these strange curiosities that reminded them of their own homes. Sometimes they were blocking the way. Other times, they revealed new possibilities. found magical lamps that altered the colours of their appearances. Perhaps it was another riddle from the Great Mountain of Wonders. Further away, one of the lamps stood, ready to be carried. They also got a view of the Great Mountain of Wonders that overlooked them as a peaceful yet ominous host. The little star grabbed it, leading the way. After a while, they entered a quiet courtyard with an alley of statues guarding the way above a pit. Maybe, if the old pilgrim and the little star helped them, they would be granted access. Indeed, when the little star danced with the stone ballerina, a path began to form above the pit. The left side of the courtyard opened up. They suddenly crossed a magical veil. In an instant, their growing bond felt stronger than ever before, blessing them with a new connection. Surely they could use it to progress in their journey. They came by a small golden tree with small jewel fruits. The little star tried to pick one up, but the old pilgrim forbade her to do so. Another stone ballerina greeted them, and the path above the pit extended even further. A gate opened to the right side of the yard. They came by another golden tree filled with magnificent fruits. The little star reached for one, but the old pilgrim forbade her yet again. Working together, they reached the third ballerina. The statue showed the way ahead, now formed completely. On the other side of the pit was a splendid golden tree, covered with the most exquisite jewel fruits. Ignoring the old pilgrim's counsel, the child snatched one of the shining fruits. "No," he yelled, but it was too late. She was already holding the fruit in her hands. The ground was shaking, and the mountain was crumbling. They both ran as fast as they could to escape the wrath of the great mountain of wonders. The rocks came crushing, closer and closer. All of a sudden, a rock as big as a house tumbled off the cliff right above the little star. Without hesitation, the old pilgrim rushed to her rescue, so she could climb on his back just in time. After such a long run, the old pilgrim was exhausted. The little star got off his back. She felt ashamed, but grateful, for now she understood how wise the old pilgrim was. As for the old pilgrim, he did not blame her for ignoring his warnings. Curiously, his character had softened since he met the little star. As they walked, they suddenly saw an immense golden door encased in the great mountain. The old pilgrim, who knew so many things, knew that this was the door to the wondrous cavern. As they approached, the gigantic door opened. The great mountain gazed upon their ascent like a terrible giant watching two tiny ants. The inside of the Great Mountain of Wonders echoed with whispered promises of shared adventures yet to come. And so, the tale unfolds.